there, and welcome to another episode of Technique Tasters brought to you by Creative Scrapbooker magazine. My name is Noreen Smith, and I typically blog and create over at organizedandcreativemom.com. And I'm so happy to be here today to play around with the Creative Memories original border maker system and all of the fun cartridges. And we are going to make some fantastic photo frames with them. You might already be familiar with the Creative Memories Border Maker system. The system itself comes with the punch holder, the paper guide, and the really cute little picket fence border maker cartridge. And then every month or so, Creative Memories creates new and different border maker cartridges that coordinate with the different collections. For example, one of the most recent punches to come out is the beautiful candy cane chain punch. So much fun, and it's going to be great for all of your Christmas pages. Of course, the border maker system is great for creating 12-inch wide borders, like again, the candy cane chain border. And these will be great on your layouts. You can cut them apart for cards, etc. But I kind of challenged myself to figure out a way to use the border maker cartridges as kind of a topper for my photos. So I'm going to show you how to make the photo frames for both 6 by 4 inch landscape photos and the 4 by 6 portrait style photos. It's really easy, and once you learn how to do it, you're going to be able to make photo frames with any of the border maker cartridges. Now, there are really 3 different types of cartridges that Creative Memories offers, and all of them will work, so that's great news. As I mentioned, we have the chain border maker cartridges, which create like the name suggests, a chain that you can use anywhere. So it completely separates the decorative punched border from the paper. So that's a chain border maker cartridge. And we've got several different chain style border maker cartridges here. Then we also have an edge punch. So that leaves the decorative edge on the paper, and then you can trim the paper to however long you desire. And then the third style really just punches out a shape along the edge of the paper. So this is almost like creating a negative shape when we punch out the actual design. So again, all 3 of these styles will work, but they're going to give you different styles of photo frames. So you can see here that this one, the animal tracks border, will create, a nice little row of cute animal tracks at the top of your photo frame. The starry border maker will also create the design along the top edge, but you'll also have this kind of nice little frame at the top. And then the chain border maker cartridges, like the candy cane, will look as though the chain is floating inside a frame. So there'll be a little bit of paper all the way around it. And that's the one that I really like the most. This is the wine, we've got the rope style, and then this one is the lamplight. So I love the way that these chains look like they're sort of floating right above the photo. So let me clear this away, and I will show you how easy it is to use the border maker system and your choice of cartridge to make your photo frames. So we're going to use the picket fence border maker cartridge because that's the cartridge that comes with the original border maker system. So if you have the system, you have this cartridge. And let's start by figuring out how we can create a photo frame for a standard portrait style photo, a 4 by 6 inch photo. So I did a little bit of Scrapbooker's math, and I figured out that in order to have a photo frame with a punched border at the top, we need to start with a 4.25 by 7.25 inch piece of paper. And again, I'm using cardstock here, but you can use patterned paper as well for this. And we're going to open up our paper guide. And the big trick here is to figure out where we have to actually place our paper so that we can punch it appropriately. Now, On the side of the paper guide, you're going to see a bunch of different guidelines, measurements, etc. These little sort of teeth or notches on the blue magnetic arm, that tells you where the Border Maker cartridge will line up. So you can see that there's also a little tooth or a little notch right on the Border Maker cartridge holder, which sort of becomes a punch. And then on the paper guide itself, we actually have some of these markings. Really, I think it's just part of the manufacturing of the paper guide. But I'm actually using the 1, 2, 3rd little black line that goes across the paper guide, and I've just marked it with a piece of masking tape. You can use a post-it note or whatever. So that's going to be our guide for where we place our piece of paper that we're going to use to make the photo frame. So let's open up the magnetic arm, and we're going to slide our paper in so that the edge of our paper matches the top of that 3rd intersecting line. Just hold it and place the magnetic arm down, and then swing the paper guide away. Now you'll notice that basically our photo frame paper is lined up really nicely with these 2 notches. And again, everywhere there is a notch, that's where we can make a punch. Seeing as the punches are 2 inches wide, we know that it's going to punch in basically the center section of that 4 1/4 inch paper. So let me show you and you'll see how this works. Just place your cartridge into the punch holder, and we're going to slide it so that the 2 sort of little notches match up. We're going to punch, move it along and punch the 2nd time. And when we take it out, you'll see that we have that frame effect. So, and that's just left a little bit around the edges, and it's going to fit our 4 by 6 inch photo just nicely. And you can measure that up and center it and get it so that there's the same amount going around your photo and your frame is done. Now, if we want to create a photo frame for a landscape style photo, a 6 by 4 inch photo, we're going to start with a piece of paper that measures 6.25, 6 1/4 by 5 1/4. So I've just, again, cut it out of black cardstock, but you can cut it out of whatever you like. And once again, we're going to line up the edge that we want cut, so the 6.25 edge, with that marking. So we're just going to meet the edge of the paper with the edge of our masking tape. And now you can see that we're going to be able to punch 3 times along this edge. So just as before, line up our notches and punch. And when we take it out, we've got the perfect size mat for our landscape photo. So again, for a portrait style photo, we start with 4 1/4 by 7 1/4. For a landscape style photo, we start with 6 1/4 by 5 1/4. And really, you can adapt this idea to almost any size photo that you want, as long as it's in that kind of 2 inch increments. So you could do a 4 by 4, for example, or an 8 by 10. I don't know that it would work with a 3 by 4 or a 5 by 7. But if you wanted to do a 4 by 4, you would simply add 1/4 inch along one edge and 1 1/4 inches along the other edge. So for a 4 by 4 inch photo, you would want to start with a piece of paper measuring 4 by 25 by 5.25, and that would give you again that nice little 1/4 inch border all the way around. So no matter if you use those beautiful chain style borders, the edge style border, or the punch-out style border. And whether you want to start with a portrait or a landscape photo, I think you can see that using the Creative Memories original border maker system and whichever of these beautiful border maker cartridges you like or that you already have in your stash, you're going to be able to create those really fun photo frames that give your photos a unique look and add just that little extra to your scrapbook pages. Thanks so much to Creative Scrapbooker magazine for having me back. I always enjoy coming on and sharing ideas and inspiration using Creative Memories products with you. And of course, speaking of inspiration, don't forget to pick up your fall issue of Creative Scrapbooker magazine. The fall issue is on newsstands now, and better yet, think about subscribing so that you can get all of this beautiful inspiration delivered to your door. So thanks again for joining me. Take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.